now what was you saying about everybody calling you?
You know, just every day I get these calls, something. I ain't got it, but they call me I get 20, 30 calls for all day. 30, 20, 10, 5 from people in jail. If it ain't from people in jail, it's from family members.
Mm-hmm. Everybody asks for money, they ask for time,
money,
rides,
it's for something.
Something.
It's for something.
Okay.
If it ain't money, it's something.
Yeah, I was just talking with somebody yesterday and today about that same thing. You know, it's just like I guess we call them boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And just like getting people to understand, like, I'm not your go-to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you need something. I mean, I want to be here to help, but at the same time, can I be your go-to? You know what I'm saying? When you get a couple dollars in your pocket, can I be your go-to and say, hey, I want to
Never
grab your gift, let's go grab something to eat? Can I be your go-to then? Can I be your go-to? You was passing through McDonald's. I don't want no McDonald's, but hey, man, I had, they had 2 for $2, man. I had, the 2 for $5. I grabbed you a quarter pound.
think about me.
Yeah, think about me. You know what I'm saying? And I need people sometimes to pretend like, what would they do? What did they do when you was in prison? They found a way to make it through all their trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, come on, man. And I'm learning. I'm continuously learning, As we move forward in life, we got to learn to set new boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Because to some degree, at some level, we all people pleasers. We want people to like us. We don't care what people think.
Same thing, Jeremy.
You know what I'm saying? But we want people to like us, man. We want to be able to help everybody out, but can't
help everybody. Not these days. Not this day. The only person I could really help out is my kids.
Yeah.
And my significant other that I'm dealt with every day, that's helping me out with everyday things. Man, I don't need people calling me every day for stuff.
Give people
can't serve
what they're giving to you.
I think that's called serving people. Like, you can't serve everybody.
No,
I can't help everybody. You know what I'm saying? You can't. If I keep continuing to help everybody, what I'm going to have?
You're going to have nothing.
What I'm going to have? I'm giving away everything I do. That's what my brother, he had mentioned one day, when I was out there in that rural doing things. He's like, damn, what you doing, selling the money? Cause like, you ain't got nothing. What you doing with the money? What you selling the money to?
Right.
You ain't even got no money and you out here in the street.
Yeah. That's crazy,
man. Yeah. And it comes from me being a giver, giving away. Yeah. Every time somebody call me, I don't know how to say no.
Let's start with Charleston White.
All right.
Let's listen what he got to say.
Guys, Charleston got an interesting take. Check it out.
Well, what we going to do about Trump when he goes to jail?
He's not going to jail. Because one thing that's guaranteed to him is a Secret Service protection no matter what. He's the president of the United States of America. He cannot be in a general population of a prison. Do you people really believe that our president, a former president, is going to go do some time?
I never thought of it that way about the Secret Service.
It's guaranteed to him for life.
I ain't never look at it that way either. That was a good point.
I think that's a really good point. Is he really? What jail they gonna put him in?
No damn jail.
What prison?
A home jail. A home jail.
Okay, because he still is a former president.
That's why I say I think if they was to sentence him to a prison sentence, it'd be like a rich man going home.
He'd have to stay in Mar-a-Lago and not be allowed to leave Mar-a-Lago.
Exactly.
Because he still is entitled to that protection. You can't
take
put him
that away from him.
You can't put him in the care of some correctional officers and expect a prison to keep our former president safe.
No,
come on, man. So it's just like, wow. So we really don't have to worry about him going to jail. Now, do we have to worry about him being convicted? I don't even think he's going to be convicted, to be honest.
I think he's going to get convicted.
I think he may get convicted on some misdemeanors. Okay. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I never thought that he'll be going to jail, but convicted, I think they'll convict him, but jail, I ain't never see that.
I don't know, man. They
never see that.
Like I said last week, there's a lot of people just trying to get their fame off his name.
Georgia's making Trump pay a $200,000 bond.
Yeah.
And taking his mug shot.
Yeah. She's you could tell she just want real publicity.
Yeah. So that's,
and he got to turn himself into Folsom County Jail, Ratway, Young Thug, and all them at jail.
So, and it's like, all right, you know what? Get your fame. You do your thing. You know what I'm saying? But At the end of the day, does it show like judicial integrity or I don't see
Don't
nothing
show
in
nothing.
that.
Just
man.
show how messed up our world is,
Yes.
and how much we so much against each other.
Yeah,
That we
against
rather throw our
president.
ex-president, whether you like him or not. That's your ex-president.
Yeah, just like, you know,
Leave that man alone and let him
Yeah.
live his life. If
what's
he
going
want,
on, move on to the next one, man.
Then you know what I like about this right now with him? I wouldn't mind him being the president again.
Holy.
You mean, you know what I mean? Just because what he going through.
Right, yeah, because he the underdog.
Yeah,
Now he the
yeah,
underdog.
put him in the chair for real now.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
really get him in there.
Yeah, it's almost like watching, a football game, right? I ain't got no dog in the race, right? But you see, like, I don't know,
Cleveland.
like I was going to say Cleveland. Cleveland playing Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? Kansas City down by 2 touchdowns, or I'm like, and it look like Cleveland finna beat them. You like, yeah, come on. You start rooting for them.
You want him.
You start wanting the underdog. Y'all want to talk trash about Cleveland? I don't give a rat's ass about Cleveland. But right now, I'm rooting for them. So I understand what you mean. It's like, y'all keep dumping all this. I just want to see if it's possible to overcome all that and still become president. He like Donald Trump right now in the race right now, in the run is like the Tiger Woods of the presidential run. You know, Tiger get paid just for showing up. He do a couple strokes, probably back.
Dog.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
18 million.
But he gets paid just for participating in it. When Trump ran for office originally, I think it was 16 or 17 seasoned veteran politicians that this dude wiped out.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you got these no names under whatever people running. Y'all really think you got a chance against Trump? You really think you can stand up?
chance.
All right, come on, man. I don't think he's gonna go to jail.
I don't
And
even.
I got that from Charleston White. Man.
That was a good story because we weren't thinking. Like
never thought
that.
about it.
Yeah, we forgot all about this.
That's a prime example, right? Why it's so important to just sometimes shut your mouth and just listen to people. You know what I'm saying? Just be willing to listen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember when I first heard Charleston, like, man, what did you do, man? Come on, man. All right, now you screaming at all these gangs and stuff.
man.
You all right? You gonna get it? You know, this and that. But I was looking at his approach, and I wasn't listening to what he was saying.
He let people know who he is. He a character. Like if
Yeah.
you listening to me and you really listen to me, and I know people done killed people in your neighborhood, and you want to beat me up and kill me. I don't even know me.
Yeah.
Just because what I said.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
What he did with Trump. I hate that Trump did it, but they were so focused on his delivery and just how
How he was.
how he
talked.
was. It's like they wasn't listening. They was listening more to what his mannerisms and everything else, and his tone, and they wasn't listening to what he was actually saying.
He was just being real and being him.
Yeah.
One sugarcoat, no words,
Right.
or nothing. Let you know exactly who I am.
Right, but at some point, like we talked about before, when keeping it real goes wrong,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Sometimes there come a point where
Yeah. You gotta not keep
there's many times I want to keep it real in the courtroom with the judge, but
never that.
no sir. I don't like how you sit
My
there.
hand on the Bible and with my legs crossed.
I might not want to stand up when they say all rise. All rise. Try not standing up and you sitting, you finna go in front of this man. You didn't feel the need to stand up? No.
Okay.
Oh, okay. No. Sit down. That's okay. Well, actually, we'll call him first.
Oh, you first
Yeah.
get this. You set the whole tone for the whole courthouse that day.
Yes.
I don't like that.
Yes.
Well, I rather
Remember
be
when
the first.
I used to hate being in court, right? And a dude would go up and piss the judge off and go to snapping and this and that. And it's like,
I
man.
ain't went up
I
there.
ain't even went up in front of this man yet. You know, cussed him
I know
out,
him.
told him what to do. On to our next clip. We got 2 from Charleston White today.
What is the message that you want to get across to the youth?
This youth generation will not, cannot, and does not have a message. They don't listen to their parents. They don't listen to their teachers. They don't listen to the coaches. They only listen to what they idol, and that's a rapper. And over so many years, engaging on the phone and watching other humans on the phone, you lose human detachment.
You know, that was a hard thing for me to accept, right? I love to talk about, man, young cats coming up now, but I'm the one that raised these young cats. Just because they wasn't in my home, they emulated me.
looked at the things you did.
They looked at what I was doing, and everybody in my generation, what we was doing, and every generation wanted to do it bigger than the previous generation, right? You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, it was what? Trues and Vols, thirds and quarters, you know what I'm saying? Old caddies putting them back in the game. Like, I don't know old car. You know what I'm saying? You remember when back in the late 2000s, everybody started getting them Infinities. Remember them bubble Infinities, them ugly Infinities, and then the Escalade came in, and everybody was doing it bigger than what before. And so we created this. We created these. Remember them? Not the 80 babies,
They're a
the
product
90
of our
babies.
environment, what we did.
What we did.
How could we blame ourselves for that? You know, these kids got their own life and what they want to do
Right.
these days.
But they got their own life, but they don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to. It's either this or that. You know what I'm saying? And all
You
that.
got to be the one to communicate with them. We got to show them. You know, a lot of dads these days, we ain't out there giving them that blueprint. You know
But
what
a
I'm
lot
saying?
of people don't want to put in the time to do that, man. These kids gone, man. I'm not going to waste my time. They don't even want to listen. And you know what I'm saying?
write them off.
You know how many times when I was growing up, old school, say, hey, Jitterbug, come here, let me talk to you, man. And just put me up on something. Put me up on something. One time I was locked up, and my three sons, my three oldest sons, mama, beautiful, bad, right? I'm showing everybody in the jail a picture. I'm like, yeah, this her, this that. And he said, Jitterbug, come here, let me talk to you for a second. I was like, what's up, man? He said, man, you don't do that, man.
Taking pictures.
You don't show everybody the picture of your old lady. It's not, man. You know, and he said, as he said, and you're giving away too much information about it. Don't do that. He said, I'm gonna tell you something, Jitterbug. He said, you see that same girl right there? That same girl gonna break your heart. I said, how you know that? He said, because it happened to me. I said, well, listen, man. I said, see this right there? Just like I said, see this right here? I know her like the back of my hand. I said, that might have happened to you, man, but I know her. That ain't gonna happen with me. But he told me.
Schooled you.
You know what happened to that same girl though?
Broke your heart.
Broke my heart. And there was other dudes that took me to the side. And a lot of my things, unfortunately, you know, my dad was around, but he wasn't around to teach me. Most of my stuff I learned from the streets, in jail, in prison.
People being in the street.
You know what I'm saying?
Friends and home.
I remember I was sitting on the top bunk. I didn't know. I would just swing my feet down. And it was an old pimp from Lauderdale. What his name was? Not Frog.
Say, get your damn feet out my face.
And he said, and I kept swinging. He said, hey, man, watch your feet. And then finally he said, hey, come here, man. Come down here for a second. He said, let me talk to you, man. He said, listen, man, you in jail. Okay, you got to respect people around you. When you swing down, you don't even look down and say, you just swing your feet down. I'm just sitting here. He said, you slide into the bunk, man, and you put your feet down. All right? Okay, because you're going to get yourself in something everybody going to be as understanding as me. Yeah. I'm like, okay. I didn't really like the tone that he was saying it in, you know what I'm saying? But
you got it.
He was schooling me, man. And I had people that brought me along, you know what I'm saying, on the street. Hey, man, don't everybody know what kind of gun you carry, man. Then they going to know how to bring it to you. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that kind of stuff. And people, but today, man, the hell them jitterbugs, man. They crazy.
But like Charleston White say, they go to the phone to the game.
Right, phone to the game.
And what he was saying, that's what's happening in my house.
Yeah.
All my boys, that's all they do, sit in their house. If they ain't on the phone, they on the game.
Yeah.
If they ain't on the game, they on the phone. Yeah. They try to find a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah. How often do you see kids outside playing now? If they ain't at a football game at the park, I don't really see kids, unless they look like toddler age. I don't see kids
creating games
playing at
like
park.
we used to.
And so
make a game to play.
Yeah, make a game, you know. But of course, technology done stepped in. But it's like Charleston was saying, they're not having that human interaction, so they don't know how to have a fight with the homeboy the day and then tomorrow.
They friends
and go back and like make it right. You know what I'm saying? So now, if there's a beef, it's beef. Now you got to die. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what I'm being taught in the games. This is what the music been teaching me. You know what I'm saying? And now it's pressure or smoke or whatever word you want to put.
We need to do advocate for the games to get out of here.
It's not even advocate for the game. It's not. And certain things and went so far. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think we just got to start on the next generation. I look at myself when I started really developing. Man, by 5th grade, I was ready.
I already know everything.
I'm in middle school now. You know what I'm saying? So if we don't get to them now, and kids are smarter today. Kids have way more information today. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't. It's certain things I didn't know about until I saw them on the news or I heard about it. This and that. Not kids. Any kids hear one word. What was that? What Mama said? Oh. You know,
look it up and get the definition.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, You know, Teddy Pendergrass paralyzed, right? And the story was, I remember them talking about Teddy Pendergrass was in an accident last night. He got paralyzed. And they say, you know, he said he was getting a blowjob when he was getting a blowjob. That's why he crashed. And I didn't have a phone to go to. I'm like, I said, Mama, I said, what's a blowjob? She said, boy, get out my mouth. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know what a blowjob was. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn later in middle school. Oh,
Asking questions.
that's what. So he was in driving, and the lady was, oh, okay. But now today, I ain't gotta ask Mama nothing. Oh, and then from there, blowjob, Pornhub. It's gonna give me another link to where I can see all kinds of blowjobs.
They done went all deep.
Not like he said. They stuck in the matrix.
Next day they blowjob.
Yeah, right. So yeah, man. So unfortunately, man, we got to find a way to get to our youth. And when I say our youth, I'm talking about the kids.
Yeah, that just let me know I got to go examine my house because that shit crazy.
Think about it, man. Last thing I'll say on the subject, I was at Chipotle, one of them restaurants, and it was a family like it was a dad, a mom, and at least 2 or 3 kids. Everybody had their plate in front of them, and everybody was like this
on the phones.
And nobody was talking to nobody, and everybody was sitting there physically as a family, but wasn't nobody talking to nobody.
Damn.
And the kid, the dad, and everybody was on their phone. That's what we created.
New life.
That's the new life. All right, so what we got next?
So Charlemagne the God just got destroyed by Larry Elder. Why nobody told me about this interview? So he attempted to throw a jab at Larry Elder, and this brother took a sip of his water and went in. Now, remind you, I didn't vote for Trump or Biden, but once Biden said, you are not black if you don't vote for me, it was a 0% chance I was voting for his racist self.
Well, I'm acutely aware, Charlemagne, that I'm a black person, just as you are a black person. And when Joe Biden insulted you by saying, you ain't really black, you don't know whether or not you want to vote for me or vote for Donald Trump, it seems to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part.
So Charlemagne
had Biden on the Breakfast Club.
Biden was on Bill was doing when he was running, and Biden said, told Charlemagne, you ain't black if you don't vote for me. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And so now Larry Elder, he speaks very proper, and very clear, and that's a problem in the black community. If you speak clear and you speak proper and you use, good grammar, you're trying to be white. We talked about that one time. I would have figured that your nigga wake up call happened when Joe Biden told you ain't black. You don't vote for him. Why did you call yourself checking me? Why didn't you check that white man on your show as a black man and tell him, wait a minute, who do you think you are telling me that I ain't black if I don't vote? So he went on to say, there was another part. He said, so you're telling me 20% of black men voted for Trump. So you're telling me that those 20% of the black men that voted for Trump, that they're not black because they voted for Trump? So now we got new criteria for what being black is.
Gotta be black,
and so that's a problem, man, that we got in the black community today. If you don't think a certain way, even if you say the T word,
I guess that was just his strategy of trying to make it the presidency.
Yeah, that's a bad strategy.
Fucked up.
But you know what? This is the thing. Or sometimes where it make me embarrassed. Sometimes as a black man, that Joe Biden said that, and nobody said nothing about it.
They thought that he said something good.
Yeah, you're right. You ain't black, boy. You vote for Biden. You ain't black. Come on, man. We got another clip from Candace Owens. She said something real interesting. Let's listen.
Lemon actually believe that white neighborhoods are different than black neighborhoods. I would imagine he's not the only one, considering every time a black person gets any money, they don't choose to go move into black neighborhoods, even though they can certainly afford to. Looking at you, LeBron James, looking at you, Patrisse Cullors, looking at you, Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade, who just sat up on stage and told us that black trans people were being hunted and that black people needed to really care about this specific issue. None of these people are living in black neighborhoods. No, they're living in white neighborhoods.
Don't act white. Don't talk white. But when you get your money, go live in a white neighborhood.
Because you're going to feel more safer in those areas. Like, who's going to feel safe in our neighborhood?
All right, but so don't talk too white. I don't dress too white. don't go and speak on issues that's not like black issues, you know what I'm saying, that most black people don't think about. But when I get some money, I can go move in a white neighborhood.
Why they look at it as a white neighborhood anyway? It
Because
ain't no white neighborhood. This is land that don't nobody own as a race.
Right, but we know why it's called a white neighborhood because
I get it, but that's where it's wrong at there now, because you stereotyping, you thinking this was a white community, which it ain't.
Yeah,
it's just a community. Anybody could go live here.
Right.
If I had the money, if black people had a lot of money, you think we'll want to live where we live at? We'll be living those places too, but we ain't got the money.
Okay.
So we just settle for where we at. They put us where we could afford.
Right.
What we got next, man?
Now let me enter this first of all. Reparations. You know, we always reparations. Black people say we should get money.
Yeah. 40 acres in a movie.
No, we should get some money back from the United States for slavery, for all them years of slavery, because this country was built on the backs of slaves.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's roll this.
3,700 free blacks who own 12,000 slaves, black slaves. The question is, do the descendants of those free blacks who own black slaves, do they pay? Blacks really benefited more the first 100 years after slavery than we have in the last 50 years. Every solution has to have a winner and a loser. That blacks can only benefit if whites lose.
I know history, but I still don't look at myself as a victim of that history.
Right. Do you feel we should get reparations back? Get money back, because of slavery?
Nope.
There's a lot of us that think that we should.
Some people think they should. If they want to give it, give it.
They give it,
but
like you shoot it. But like I'm saying, I'm not pushing for that.
I ain't pushing.
It's kind of ridiculous in a way, because like he said, a lot of the things they didn't teach me in history was they didn't teach me that it was blacks that owned slaves too. Mm-hmm. They never taught me that part. Wait a minute. So you mean, hold on. No. You just told me that white people, you told me that it was white slave masters. No, there was black slave masters, black slave owners. So now, how come y'all didn't tell me about that part of our history?
It started with the blacks selling them people.
There was something I watched the other day, and it said, he was talking about, if we're going to talk about reparations, okay, reparations is ridiculous, because if it wasn't for black people would not have been in slavery. It was those black that were conquering other villages and stuff in Africa and were selling them.
People, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so now do we have to go back to Africa? We got to get reparations from them because they started this whole wheel. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so then it's like, if we're gonna talk about giving back stuff, right? Then they said California, that belonged to Mexico.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do some representation, if we're gonna get that back, are we gonna give California? We're gonna get California back.
Everybody deserves something.
Okay, we're gonna give Texas back to remember the Alamo. So if we're gonna start doing these things, right? So everybody, then I guess we gotta make it equal across the board. Then we drop down to 48 states and give Mexico back what's truly theirs. I think the reparation today is, man, that we all now have the opportunity to get what was once said that only white man had the ability to get. We all got access to it. Pay your bills,
go to work,
keep your credit score up, and guess what? You can walk into a parking lot, on a car lot, and say, I want that right there, and I'm not putting no money down. Just because of that number, not because of your color. All right, so what we got up here next? This is an experiment.
Did an experiment with a group of women, and they put scars on their faces, and they told these women that they're going into a job interview, and the purpose of the experiment is to find out whether people with facial disfigurements face discrimination. They showed them the scars in the mirror. The women saw themselves with these scars, and as they led them out of the room, they said, we're just going to touch it up a little bit. And as they touched it up, they removed the scarring completely. So the women went into the job interview thinking that they are scarred, but actually being their normal selves. And the result of the experiment is that those women then came back reporting massively increased level of discrimination.
All right, so he's saying they did an experiment
with the scars.
And they thought they said, we want you to go in and want you to see how you're treated with the scars on your face.
Cover the scars.
But they took the scars off, and they thought they still had the scars. So they went in with this belief as they're looking at them, as they're doing it, they're like, oh, I know what you mean by that. You're talking about the scar. I get it. Mm-hmm. And they came out, I was like, yeah, and started giving all these reports of how they were discriminated against and how you could tell the different things that they were saying. It was because of the scar. And then come to find out,
ain't have a scar.
We took him off before you went into the interview. And what he was saying is about, we got people that feel that's oppressed. Now I have to take a look at me. Is everything I see what I think I'm seeing? I remember when I was a kid, man, 7th grade. I had this white friend named Tom. We met at school. And he's like, you want to hang out? I was like, yeah. So we went to his house, right? I was just out front. He went inside to go throw his book bag in. And he came out of the house. His mother came out of the house. And she was standing up on the stair in the doorway. She said, where are you going? She said, oh, we're going to play. And she looked at me. And she said, no, you're not. Get inside. And he said, but Mom. She said, get inside. And she's looking at me, and I'll never forget this look. I didn't understand what the look was at that time until I began to see it later.
Other grown-ups.
And people my age, and it was like, I never forget that experience that I had. And so it's kind of like, I know racism. I know, not racism, I know prejudice when I see it. Okay. And, sometimes people say, everything ain't about black and white and this and that. Well, to a degree it is. Okay, because everything wasn't about black and white. There wouldn't have to be a picture with 4 whites, 1 Asian, 1 black person, 1 person you can't tell if they're white or black, 1 woman, 1 this and that. And if it wasn't about black and white. Sometimes I used to feel like I'm sensing some racism. I'm sensing some prejudice. I can tell they're prejudiced by what he said and how she said that and this and that. And it could be true, but it could not be true. Because that's what I've been told, and so.
They carry it to this day.
Yeah, they carry it to this day. And it's just like, and passing that on to kids.
Next generation.
And the next generation, and now we look at.
Shouldn't even be that way.
That shouldn't be that way. So.
Like certain things shouldn't even be talked about.
No. Well, that's what Morgan Freeman said. They asked him to say, well, what do you think? What do you think we should do to get rid of racism? He said, stop talking about it. We keep racism alive talking about it. Okay, we know people don't like people. We know there's white people don't like black people. There's black people don't like black people. And on and on and on. It's just like, all right, we get it. Stop talking about it. And sometimes
move on.
Sometimes,
move
from
that
on.
situation.
Move on.
Everybody just be better people. It exists.
And we're teaching.
You can't take that away from life.
Right. We're teaching a whole new generation of people how to be racist. We're teaching a whole new generation of people what white people did to us in the past. We're teaching a whole new generation of people who they passed it. They were about diversity and unity and all this. And now we're teaching them, no. This is what happened now.
So that make them feel some type of way.
Yeah, it's like, oh man. All right, let's move on to the next thing.
Last year, 400 people were arrested for things that they said on social media. 400 people in Russia. One example I give in my show is there was a young woman from Liverpool called Chelsea Russell. Her friend was killed in a car crash, a 19-year-old woman. And she posted the lyrics of his favorite song on her Instagram, the lyrics. And it was a rap song, so the lyrics contained several instances of the N-word. Okay? She was arrested, prosecuted, found guilty, given 500 hours of community service and a fine, tagged, and for a year, she was under 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. curfew.
That's why it's so. I'm trying to be more careful when I hit like on stuff.
Mm-hmm. You can't even like
because it's coming. It's coming.
People go back and look.
It's coming. They're gonna go back and they're gonna be looking at what you like. Not Ernest. You said that you don't believe in illegal activity, but here you have a friend. He doesn't have a gun in the picture, but he's had other pictures that have him holding a gun, and you know about gun violence, and you like the picture of him. So what you're saying is that you condone gun violence, and you're okay with that because you like the picture of him. Be careful.
What you say.
What you saying and what you posting and what you liking.
Because you ain't got to get locked up.
You don't got to get locked up. But there's some consequences.
Yeah, it's consequences.
That's coming that you're going to be labeled with because of what you liked. It's really important to understand, man. Victims don't recover, first of all. Victims don't progress. Victims remain victims. Okay, the people who progress are people who refuse to hold on to the past. The past is what it is. You can't go back and change nothing. The only way you can change your past is your future past. And what I mean by that, one day today is going to be the past. And so what I do today is how I change my past in the future. With that being said, man, be careful what you like. And listen, we're on all platforms. Please go to YouTube, like and subscribe. Go to Instagram, like and subscribe, and comment. Yeah. Go to TikTok, like and subscribe. And we're also on Facebook. Yes, subscribe. Faux Show Podcast. On Facebook, it's just Faux Show. All other platforms, it's Faux Show Podcast. Like and subscribe. And share us with other people, man. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for listening to us. Let us run our mouth a little bit. And listen, man, always remember this, man. We love you, but we're not in love with you.
All right.